So I have made a decision what I'm going to do about a few things. The videos I'm going to put together videos of the repair as it stands. So what I'm going to do is do the repair today, which will probably take 10 or 15 minutes, and then post it. And then at the end of the finished guitar process, I'll put all the clips together. So that for those that like the bigger full-length clips, I'll put the whole thing together then. But for those who like to see it as it progresses, I'll do it that way. Hopefully that'll keep everybody happy. It also gives me a little bit of a, you know, you're posting every other day or something like that instead of, you know, and I enjoy doing the video editing and stuff like that there, so it gives me a little bit of an interest too. So right, what I've decided to do with this guitar, this is the Hohner 12-string. I've got to do everything at once. I can't just do a little bit. I'm going to put a strip of wood underneath that. What I normally use for strengthening the bridge is this piece of maple. I bought this maple off the internet, and I usually shape it and put it underneath the bridge. It's something the same shape, maybe even out there a little bit for the wood, but not in this instance. What I want, this can bend, and as you can see it has bent a little bit, but that doesn't matter. I usually use a cross grain, but it's not as strong as what I want. So I'm going to do an unusual thing. I'm going to use some really hard wood. This is thicker than the maple. I don't know what hardwood it is, but it is bloody hard, excuse my French. And I'm going to put it underneath there and shape it, right? And then I'm going to clamp it down in the same way as I showed you earlier, but using this little contraption that I made, which goes through the holes. And this block of wood goes with the struts and pushes up against the wood and the struts and everything. But why I'm using that is because that will force it down and force the whole thing down, right? But at the same time as I do that, which is going to be awkward enough, I'm going to glue all the struts, and there's only one way to get in there. It's messy and it's uncomfortable. I'm just going to, what I'm going to then do is flooding all the struts, flooding them all, then doing this, and then clamping it down, and then using a piece of wood with, there's it there, right, okay, there, with 2 end clamps on it to press the body down at each end. You'll see it as it progresses. This will have rubber underneath it, and the clamps will have rubber underneath it. And the only thing I'm not going to glue is the top part here of the cross, because what well, I might. I'll see what it's like when I've done all the bits and pieces. But what I'm going to do is switch on my proper camera up here and let it run while I do this. Hold on. Yeah, my proper camera, which likes to roll, but I'll turn that around in a second, set it up. All right, so that's the theory. Get this body down. As you can see, it's rocking and rolling. Get the body down and get it clamped, and then leave it for 48 hours. I have the best neighbor in the world outside, who's actually a young female who's painting my whole decking and fencing for me. She's great. She is really great. I love that. I feel a bit guilty that I'm not out there doing it with her, but anyway, might cut that out. What I'm going to do now is make the template for what's underneath there. And the way I do it, there might be other ways to do it, is I just get a little bit of paper and I put it in there and I squeeze it up against the struts, etc., etc., and I get the shape. I've already done one, right? And when it comes out in a shape. The struts are like that, right? And there's a back. That's the back bit of the wood underneath. Now there's no point in going any further because the hardwood wouldn't reach it and it wouldn't give any support. Now the piece of hardwood I'm going to use is that, which won't go that far anyway. So I would need this to be, if I put that in, I'll do it again, give it a bit of a squeeze, get the shape going again, and I'll show you where it's going to go. Right, there's it there and there. I just press against the paper to where I want it, right? And so, I don't know whether you can see that in white on white, But you see there's the edge there is where I'm going to, that's where it created the bend, and that's where the other creation of the bend is. So the piece of wood is going to go like that, and this is going to be a very hard, as I said already. So I'm going to shape this piece of wood to that kind of shape. So I'm not going to waste time. When I have it finished, I'll come back to you. All right. There's a little piece of wood done. Oh, the lights are off. Put the light on. There's a little piece of wood done. All right. I'm going to mark. What I decided to do is I'll make the back edge straight to this. I put it the wrong way around. I'll make the back edge straight to this piece of wood. There's a straight piece of wood beneath that holding on, giving strength to the body, and I'll make the back of this piece straight to that edge, and then I'll mark it with a pen, because I'm going to drill a couple of holes in it. And I'm going to drill a couple of little holes, and I've decided to drill the holes there and there, which will be there and there. I had thought once that you don't need to drill holes if you use a wood screw, but then it can snap, because I'm actually putting the wood grain across the way for strength. But if you put a wood screw in that, you can snap it, so it has to have a hole drilled. So I'll drill a hole and come back to you. What I want to do is put that underneath that and glue it, right? So I'm going to put this through the holes, through that, glue this surface. That's going to go beneath it, so I can put a wood screw and just screw it tight. Can you see this? I don't know where you can see this. That's going to go beneath the surface there. I put the lights off because of the phone call. That is going to go beneath the surface there to support the bridge, right? I'm going to glue that surface, right? What I'm going to use is I'm going to put a wood screw through that hole there, and a wood screw through that hole there, right? And just to hold it against it. The wood screw will go through that hole and into that little block of wood, which is covered with duct tape. And it's covered with duct tape because I don't want it to stick to the wood, although it would make a difference. And on this side I've got a little bit of the yoga mat as well as that, so when I screw it down it won't do as much damage on it, and it'll go through the two things. So that's that prepared, ready to go. That's that prepared, ready to go. But I can't do that yet until I get the rest of what I'm going to plan to do and do it all at once. So the next stage, now that that's ready, is I'm going to have to put a piece of wood there, clamp it down. That's pretty simple to do, but I'm going to have to figure out a way how to, here's a great word for you, slather. In Northern Ireland, slather. I'm going to have to find a way to slather the glue all through the frets, and I think it's going to be messy. I think it'll be messy, but it doesn't matter. This guitar is a non-player until we get this body down, or the neck up. And the plan is to put two posts there as well, to try to raise the neck a little bit. You get a couple of millimeters, you get a bit more playability. When I took the saddle off, I found out it had a lump of wood beneath it, because it had been too low, and I don't think I'm going to use that saddle again. I think I'm going to have to replace the saddle with something better, but we'll see. We'll get to that stage later on. So now I just move on, and I'll do a little bit and come back to you. So another good look at this. I'm going to have to do the slathering. Slathering means spreading a lot of glue around in our noun terms. I'm going to have to do a lot of slathering blindly, so I'm just going to have to use the tight bond and go in there and squeeze it along the thing blindly, and then squeeze it in all of them and use a brush to push it in blindly. But I'm not going to do that now because it'd be boring as hell to see. Alright, okay, so I'll do that. We've got 20 minutes to play, maybe 25 minutes to play with tight bond. And then when I've done that, I'll come back and then I'll glue this and do this on camera and tighten that down. And then I'll do this and tighten the thing down on camera. And that's where we'll be. Why can I not get in there? I'm missing it. It's there, isn't it? Let me just, there. Right, okay, fingers now. Right. Now, happy enough with that. Now back there. I'm going to have to get me fingers, and that can become, why I want it down there, I want it there. And then, right, if I could only see it. Okay. Why can I not get it to where I want to go? I'm going to use it. Yes, it's underneath it now. And now I need the clamp. I'm going to stick the cloth down there and try to, right, get some of that up. There's more to be done, still spreading. Look at the pull down there. I'll get a cloth and wipe that up. But there's really the cracks I want to show. Right, more work. Not even getting some of that glue up. I can see. Well, that's going to be good enough. It's going to be good enough because I can't waste too much more time. That's as good as I'm going to worry about. Right now. Why should I struggle alone here? I'm trying to mop up the glue at the bottom of this guitar and I'm not succeeding. Oh, I think I got some of that time. I've got a cloth on the floor, so right, I'm going to use the other camera to video what I've done because that's the only way I can see. Well, that's going to be good enough. It's going to be good enough because I can't waste too much more time. Not waste any more time. All right, I've got to waste a bit more time because I must get the bottom of that up, and then I'll start wiping up. Use that stick. This is messy. One of the more messy jobs, but I'm doing it blind. I don't want to lose the. Oh, I think I probably got about half an hour before the glue becomes a problem to work. Right. Touch the camera and go in there. Oh, that's as good as I'm going to worry about. Right, now I'm going to clamp it. Let the camera run. Well, I'm actually not going to clamp it now because my hands are covered in glue, but I'm going to do this bit now while I'm in the mood. I'm going to only do one side of this because I know there's enough glue on that inside to slather a mountain. Right, so I'm going to have to order more tight bond. Yeah, that's the end of my tight bond. Right, I'm working relatively quickly. I'd be more neat than this if it wasn't for the fact that I'm on a time schedule. Right, so that goes underneath, and that glue, I'm sure there's more than enough glue there. Right, okay, I can see that one of the holes. Okay, and now the glue's on it. It makes it a little bit harder to move about in there. Right, okay. Come on, machine, go through. You can see I'm not having any chat here. Come on, you can do this, Austin. You can do this. Why are you not sitting there? It's the hole. I can actually see the hole. So why are you not going through the way I want you to? Right, okay. Ah, right, okay, that's one hole completely solid. Now which side is the tape on? All blind work. Right, okay, and have I got this the right way around? That doesn't matter. Right, okay. Where's my screwdriver? There it is. Right, and we're getting in there. Right, okay, now the other hole. Right, okay, there. And there. I don't need to put extreme forces on this to hold the wood to it, because I want the wood to be tight to it whenever. Oh, come on! What's happening with you? Come on! I can see the hole. Do as you're told. That's it. Good. Just to be forceful with them, you have to speak to them. Tell them what they're doing wrong. Right. I think we're there. I think we're there. Right. So as I say, I don't need to put a whole lot of, oh no, I'm not there yet. No, I'm not there yet. No, I'm not there. That's it. Right, okay. You can see how quickly this is drying up, but it's still flexible. So that's it pressed. I don't need to worry about that too much. That's it now pressed up against the bottom. Right. Now I'm going to rush to get the I'm not going to rush anything because it's sticking to everything. Hold on a second. Okay. I'll just get that bit of glue off there that looks like it's stuck. Right, so I'm going to put that across there, that across there, right, a clamp there. I'm going to put a bit of is that bit? No, it's not big enough. Right, so that's gonna. I'm going to have to change my mind about that. So what I'll do is put a smaller piece of wood there. Right, clean that up. There's glue everywhere. I want it to press down. No, there's a smaller. That's a smaller than I want. That's a smaller piece of wood. The theory is I want to press the bottom down. I don't want to press the whole top. I want to press this middle bit down further till the glue sets. Right, so I've done that. Now I need a bigger piece of wood. It's way over here. Right, okay. And this bigger piece of wood, and then the clamp, wherever the hell I put it, which I've set it down. I'll just use another one. Well, there's it sitting there. Why didn't you point it out to me? Useless. Oh, it's like the more you rush. Right, okay. So, one clamp on that side. Right, and one clamp. Let me just not make it too tight. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any cracking. Right, okay. Now, this is not it yet because I need to put some. Well, do I? They both got rubber on them. I'm not going to put too much force on it. Let me get the let me just move that a bit. Let me just move that a bit. I need to get the. Okay, right. You. Right, okay. Right, what I'm doing is putting that there to see how much pressure I'm putting down onwards, down onto it. Because what's happening now is that this piece of wood pushing the middle down, and the natural tension of the struts will push upwards, and I don't want to go crazy putting too much pressure on, because I can now see a gap of about 1/8 of an inch. So when do you stop? Right, okay, I'm going to stop. Look at the hands, like. I don't know how you can see it, covered in glue. Right, I'm going to stop because I've got everything tightened up, and this is going to sit for 2 days. Just give that a little. I don't need to give it a tight. I don't know why I'm continuing to tighten. Let me look at the. Yeah, I'll use the other camera to let you see where the flat edge is. Okay, so I stop this one. But if you see where the bridge is now, and the gap there, that's not great, but it's better than it was. So I hope to improve it a bit by putting a couple of small posts there. And we'll see what happens when I remove all this when the time comes to let the glue do its work and see what it holds. Little thing I didn't capture on camera because I had to slather it. Probably too late, but so the glue doesn't drip. But it won't. And why am I doing this? I don't know. Because it's not going to help it. But it's done. Goodbye.